dropped a ton. He went all the way to 680, and now he's back down to 510K. I think I might be able to have an overnight flip with him. I'm going to keep my eye on him. I just missed a snipe on Bernardo Silva for 325K, if you guys want to know how I'm doing right now. What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new video on my channel. Honestly, I am kind of fuming right now. I'm very angry because my internet went out on Thursday after I had uploaded that last video, and it was out until about last hour for me. So I pretty much didn't trade at all on Thursday. I couldn't upload a video to help us further prepare for the World Cup content that came today, and boy, is it everything that we expected. There is so much content today. A huge market crash on certain meta cards, especially informs that are currently in packs, and so many new cards added to the game that are opportunities to trade with and make easy coins. So in today's video, I'm going to show you guys which cards I'm trading with right now, how to trade with Path to Glory cards on the daily basis, and then also how to trade with them as we get closer to their actual World Cup games. We're going to be talking about the new FUT heroes and all of that. And in fact, I might be coming out with a double upload today just because of the fact that we missed the upload yesterday, and we're trying to upload every single day for the rest of the World Cup, or the World Cup mode, or promo, I guess you should say. So expect a video every single morning at around the same time, between 4 or 5 a.m. Eastern Standard, which is like 9 or 10 a.m. in the UK, and you can do the math for whatever time zone you guys are in if you're not in one of those two. Appreciate you guys clicking on the video, and let's hop right into it. Before we do, guys, can we smash 400 likes on today's video? It's a big day, so we're going to ask for a big goal there. 400 likes. Now, those are the final Diabis that we sold from the last episode. If you guys actually watched that, you saw we made about 500,000 coins on those Diaby cards because they just looked too low when they came out. And the one thing I told you guys is do not hold your Diaby card until Friday, because we knew he was going to drop. We didn't know exactly how much he was going to drop, and boy, was it heavy, because he went from about 68,000 coins to about 20K. So a huge drop in price on him. And so the first question you guys might ask is, well, look at Bremer, look at Diaby, look at Theo Hernandez, and say, all right, are they good investments now? We saw how expensive they were on the last couple of days when they were released. Are they good investments now because of how cheap they are in comparison? And the answer is yes and no. One, I don't think you should be buying these cards quite yet. It's Friday night, Saturday morning, even throughout Saturday afternoon. They're going to stay low. And until Sunday night and Monday, when they honestly might start rising a little bit, you don't want to be putting your coins into this investment quite yet, because it's going to take a couple days for this to get off the ground. We saw so much supply, so many other opportunity to pick up cards. So I just don't see the Bremer or Diaby rising a ton, in which I think it's the best investment quite yet. I'm not saying that you shouldn't buy it at the end of this weekend. I'm just saying if you were to buy now, you're just sitting and waiting for it to go up for a little while. I would wait till it starts to rise just a little bit and then start buying. Yeah, you might miss out on the best deals, but you also save a ton of time, and you can be using those coins elsewhere during that time. And I'm going to show you guys exactly how. The one exception to that might be Theo Hernandez. The reason I say that this might be an exception is because if we take a look at his inform card, not the out of position card, I want to make that very, very clear, is that this card is one, very meta, still works as one of the best left backs in the game, but as more and more people get more SBC fodder from packs this week and SBCs, they're going to start completing the Rafael Leao new player of the month. And what gets a strong link to him? Well, the current Theo Hernandez card. So I think that informed Hernandez could actually rise a little bit quicker, and it might be a better investment as we exit this weekend than the others. So that's a card that I'm definitely keeping my eye on. Right now, he's pretty low at about 170,000 coins in comparison to about 240 before the crash. But let's think about it. He dropped 70K, which is a big drop, but Diaby dropped 50K, and he was the same rating, the same nation, and if you take the percentage of how much this card dropped, well, it's not nearly as much as the percentage of how much Diaby dropped. So there's definitely more value here in this the Hernandez. There's more demand, and I think the Rafael Leao inform is a reason for that. And the reason I say stay away from the out of position one is because it also plays left wing for the most part. So I would probably stay away from that one, because I think more people are going to be doing that layout, and it's just going to be more of a replacement for the out of position card itself. I don't see this one rising a ton from 190 or 185, whatever it is right now, about 185. I think that the inform has more of a chance to rise than this one. Even though it is 2 ratings lower, even though it is currently in packs, I still see that as a left back has more value, especially with that Rafael Leao. Player of the month currently in packs. The next we're going to talk about is the Path to Glory cards and how they are changing in price so often. As you guys can see by my transfer list, we used a very, very similar method to this Diaby. And if you're wondering, why do you still have a Diaby? I actually packed it today in one of the packs I saved. So I wish I would have opened that pack yesterday when he was 70K. He's now 20K. So that's the reason I have a Diaby still. But the Araujo was the exact same concept. It's a new card that came out on a day where people had saved packs. Everybody saved packs for this promo. And since everybody saved packs, the cards were really cheap immediately. In fact, I got all of my cards. That one's an outlier, actually. 239,000 coins and lower. So I've got 13 of them, 233, 235, 239, 234, 238, and then we've got a few more on this page, 238, 230, 232, 231, 268, and then a 270. So 2 of the 13 cards are a little bit more expensive that on what I bought it for. But the idea of getting those Araujos early was because there was so much supply hitting the market immediately that it just couldn't keep up with the amount of demand after the supply started dwindling. The supply all came in within the first hour, so I decided to do the exact same thing with the Diaby card as I did with Araujo. So if you guys take a look at my Twitter here, I'll show you the exact tweets that I sent out for Diaby a couple days ago, and then the exact tweet that I sent out for Araujo today, and they're very, very similar, actually. So, yes, here's the Diaby tweet from a couple of days ago. Let's pull that up for you guys. Is it showing? There it is. 39K, I said Inform Diaby seems low for a card that looks like that. And if we take a look at the exact time I tweeted that was only 24 minutes after the card was actually released. He was at about 40,000 coins. And of course, he went up to 70,000 coins, and we had a ton of him, okay? And then today, we actually did a pretty similar thing with the Araujo card. Right here, I said, he's about to fly. I just bought 11 on the companion app with 1 bar of service. No excuses, because I didn't have internet for the last couple of days. I was literally on my companion app buying these cards on 1 bar of service. So there was no snipes at all, because every single time I saw a card pop up for like 200K or 210 or 220, it would get bought way quicker than I could get. So I just bought it for what it was sitting at. And I probably could have made more if I was on the console or whatever. But that was only tweeted about an hour and a half after he was released into packs. Again, very, very early. And now it's 8 p.m. I've held on to all of these cards. And instead of being 230 to 240K, he has risen and risen and risen all the way to 280-ish. 285 is what he's sitting at right now, which isn't a terrible price. And as it gets later into the night, he's going to get more and more rare because less and less people are opening packs, but the demand stays relatively the same. So he's 285K right now. You take about 15K per tax, and we're still making about 30 to 40K per card, and just getting our coins back on the ones we got for 270. But very, very good profit for such a short amount of time. It's not a card that I'm going to be holding for a couple of days, though. And the reason for that is they're going to continue to drop more SBCs throughout the weekend. I imagine we'll get a daily SBC pretty much every day, and a lot of those are giving out tradable packs and all of that. So that's going to add supply, and just the longer he is in packs, the cheaper he will go. If we take a look at the Road to the Knockout cards, which were also a dynamic card and we look at their trend and what they did while they were in packs, we'll see that the first day was not their cheapest day. Right now, we're gonna look at Valverde first, and we're gonna look at his daily graph. And as you guys can see by his daily graph, he was decently expensive on day 1. He dropped a little on day 2, dropped a little more on day 3, actually rose a bit on 4 and 5, and then absolutely plummeted towards the end of the week on like Wednesday and Thursday when the marquee matchups come out and all that. So there's definitely going to be a lower point. There's no reason that we should be holding on to any of these Path to Glory cards. So if you have any of those, I would sell before the next content release. You could probably sell within the next couple of hours of this video coming out. And if you're watching later in the day, I would just sell into the night and get your coins then. But I just don't see him being more expensive than this on, Wednesday or Thursday. That's when we're probably going to make our big investments. And that leads me into talking about what do you do with these Path to Glory cards once we get close to the World Cup? And that's a great question because I think these cards are going to be the most volatile cards in the history of FIFA Ultimate Team. We've seen a lot of dynamic cards like Ones to Watch and Road to the Knockout go up and go down and go up and go down, a huge swing. I think these are going to be even crazier. I think they're going to go up and down at levels we've never seen before because, one, when they play, there are no other games going on pretty much in the world. It is only their World Cup game. They don't overlap with other World Cup games. It's one World Cup game at a time. So when it becomes that time for Uruguay to play or for Belgium to play, we're going to see a huge rise in price in these cards in the coming days after or before they actually play. So if Araujo plays on a Thursday, we'll see him rise a ton throughout that weekend beforehand, and then the Monday, and then Tuesday, and then a huge rise on Wednesday and Thursday. And then it really just depends on how Uruguay do in that match. That'll tell us what is going to happen with that card. And if Ones to Watch give us any indication on what you should do with these cards, it is to sell into the hype. You want to sell those cards before they actually play their game, unless they're very big underdogs. In that case, maybe they are worth holding on to for a risk. But let's say we have a Lukaku card, and Belgium are expected to win their games, which they are in their group. And Uruguay, they don't have a super easy group. I believe they play Portugal, but they're probably getting out of their group as well. And if they don't, if they underperform, that's going to be a much bigger crash than if they do get out of their group, as expected. There might be a small rise, but even when players were winning games for their 3 wins for Ones to Watch, they were still dropping after the games were over. So I would just sell into the hype on all of those Path to Glory cards. Now, the exact same thing today happened with the FUT Heroes. If we take a look at any of the FUT Heroes, I guess I'll pull up Rudolf Voller as one example, although there are plenty of examples of this. We will see that if we take a look at the hourly graph on these cards, we will see that they have already started rising, and within the first couple hours they were actually at their low point, and he was at about 972k. And of course, this only takes the average for the hour. It could have been much lower, and then up to almost 1.1 million coins. So those cards did the exact same thing as the Path to Glory cards, and it's definitely a trend you want to remember for any new cards they drop in the future, especially when people save their packs. If people are saving their Team of the Week packs, you want to buy within the first hour or so, because then they will rise out of that. But you've got to be very careful because it is a high risk trading method. Had I bought that Araujo and they just continued to pour with supply, and then maybe EA dropped like a crazy, pack into the store at a time that's not 6 p.m. UK, that can screw your investment. So it is a high risk investment, but it is evidently pretty reliable. Based on the last week with Diaby and with Araujo and with all the FUT Heroes and pretty much all the informs in Path to Glories. I think it's something that you guys should be looking at every single time a new promo drops or a set of new cards drop. The next card I'm looking at here is probably going to be Bernardo Silva. I think he might rise into the night. He dropped a ton. He went all the way to 680, and now he's back down to 510K. I think I might be able to have an overnight flip with him. I'm going to keep my eye on him, and hopefully maybe even get him for about 500 to negate some of the tax. There's a 504, which is not bad. That's already gone. Good to know. The next biggest question that I'm getting is, what do I do with my fodder? What do I do with my SBC fodder cards that I've invested in? Or should I go in on an investment, or should I panic sell my fodder cards if I already have any? Now, I don't have any fodder cards, so I'm not as in touch with the fodder market right now, but I have been keeping up with 87s and 85s pretty well. And Trent Alexander-Arnold, which was selling for about 17, maybe 17.5 the other day, is down to about 15,750 right now as one of the cheapest 87 rated cards in the game. So they are low, and we've seen these kind of cards peak at around 22 to 23K when a good SBC comes out. But even with the Rafael Leao SBC and other squad building challenges that dropped today, they did not keep up with all of the supply that we got. Now, we're still going to see a little bit more supply from daily SBCs, and we're going to see some more supply from packs throughout the weekend of people opening FIFA points and Foot Champ rewards. But overall, most of the supply probably came today, so I wouldn't say it's a terrible idea to pick up these cards, but we have to understand that there's so many people that are holding on to SBC fodder right now that it's going to take a pretty big squad building challenge to actually push them up. 87s, they look good. For me, I think 85s are probably the strongest investment, maybe even 84s as well at 2K. 86s I would stay away from still, just because they're still inflated due to the FUT Heroes SBC. The big problem with SBC fodder investments currently is that a lot of the packs that we were waiting on that were leaked in the database didn't actually come out as a direct squad building challenge, like the 83 plus team of the week player pick and the 85 plus player pick, and a lot of these are actually in moments where we go out and we do the moments and we earn the moment stars, and then we swap them for the packs we want. So the 85 plus times 3 players pack, the 81 plus times 11 players pack are all in moments, and then the 82 plus times 20 and the 84 plus times 20 are in the World Cup swaps, which we'll get into in a minute. But most of these packs that we have been leaked by Foot Scoreboard didn't actually come out into a direct squad building challenge. As you guys can see here, these are all of the seasonal rewards for moments. In fact, I've already done it, but if you go here, the first reward is a free loan player for a new FUT Heroes item. So you could end up getting yourself a Yaya Toure for 5 games, or you get Peter Crouch, more likely. I got in mine Lundberg, so I got a decent card, and I got Mascherano in my permanent one for the pre-order. Both average cards, nothing to get excited about. But as you guys can see, you get a for 80 choice, or for 80 moments, you can have a player pick between 285 and higher. I think that is way overpriced when you can literally get a 83 plus team of the week and have 3 choices for less, which is crazy. I don't know why that is so expensive, but there are a lot of worth it SBCs to do here. In fact, the rare players pack and the 83 plus team of the week players pack and all of these are tradable here. This one right here is untradeable, and it'll tell you if it's untradeable. Like this one is tradable. Those are tradable. Well, that's a ultimate draft token. A lot of these are tradable, so it might be worth going out and doing some of the moments to get yourself a tradable pack, because with the new season, there's new opportunity. I know a lot of us grinded that for a couple days at the beginning of the year and then completely forgot that moments even existed. Now, when we go to the squad building challenges, we do have some World Cup swaps that are out right now. And these swaps look very, very fun to do. Look like some really crazy rewards. If you do all of the swaps, or I believe there are 50 total, if you do 40 of them, you can get a Patrick Vieira 90 rated World Cup icon, which is insane. And then you can also do Cafu at right back for 30. So really, really crazy there. And then a World Cup icon player pick, you get a choice of 1 of 3. For 35, I probably would just go out and get the 40 because Vieira is going to be one of the best pulls you can get, and you're really risking it for 35 because, in my opinion, Cafu is one of the better ones probably, and you're most likely to get 3 crappers in that. So, I mean, do what you want, but it is a big risk. You get a 3 times 84 times 20 pack, so 60 84 rated for 20 picks is not bad. Honestly, that is not bad. I'm probably going to grind towards that 20 picks. If you do all 50, you can get Cafu and that 84 times 20 times 3, which is crazy. And then you've got some players that we obviously saw in the leaks, like Fabinho. Kingsley Coman is only 15, so you can get that 89 rated left mid. I think that's probably the best one. Then you get Eden Hazard for 15. 84 times 20 pack. Now note that this one is 10 swaps, but if you get 10 more, you get 3 times the amount. So if you are planning on doing this, you might as well go for 20, unless you're trying to get Vieira, of course. You got Mason Mount for 10. Ake is 8. Morata is 8. Brandt is 8. Pereira is 8. Joaquin Correa is 8. Andres Christensen, Kostic. Kostic is 6. Kramaric is 5. Guardado is 5. And then you've actually got some really cheap ones, but they aren't that good. Viña for 4. Valencia for 4. Shaqiri is for 4. Munir for 4. All of these guys for 4. And then you've actually got some even cheaper ones for 3. Reggie Cannon, who's not even going to the World Cup, is the USA representative for it. Nuhu is 2, 2, 2. Al Sharani, a 90 pace left back for 2. But overall, it's not really worth submitting for some of these guys because they're just not that good of cards. But they are cheap, and they're very easy to get. In fact, you guys all got one of them already. You get one for free. So you're halfway there to a low-rated swap as it is. I just missed a snipe on Bernardo Silva for 325K, if you guys want to know how I'm doing right now. Another question I got asked over on Twitter was, do you like the inform market right now in terms of SBC fodder specifically? We already talked about it in terms of the meta cards. What about SBC fodder? And 85 rated cards right now are no risk. They are very good investments because you could literally quick sell these cards at any time and basically lose no coins. So you could buy 100 Schmeichels for 10,750 coins, and then if you quick sold all of those cards, you would lose like 5,000 coins at the most, which is crazy because 85 rated gold cards have often been more expensive than that card right there. And then same for Griezmann and Gregor Kobel. Even Osimhen is pretty cheap right now. So all of these 85 rated informs are pretty much no risk investments. And with all the potential SBCs we could get during the World Cup promo, I think it's worth going in on these. We could get a Team of the Week pack still, even though we did see that one in the code go towards moments. It's not writing off that we couldn't get one. We still haven't seen an icon player pick or icon upgrade yet for SBCs, although that has been leaked in the code for weeks now, and we still haven't seen it yet. All of these cards are definitely good shouts here at such a low price, close to discard price. You could probably bid on some of these cards for discard price and lose 0 coins if you quick sold them. So if you've got extra coins lying around, go for it. I think that is a very, very smart thing to do with your coins because there's no risk of them going down. And if you ever wanted to audible to a different investment, you can always do that at any point. So if you've got extra coins, you might as well put them into something like this because you can literally just quick sell them if you find a better investment that you like. And there's no loss of coins. So I do like informs right now. Even 84s are super cheap, but if you can get 85s for the same price, essentially, go for 85. 86s, again, 86 rated gold cards are a little inflated right now, so there's a little bit more risk. You could lose 1,000 per card. You could lose maybe 2K per card if you're really unlucky on 86s, but then again, they're probably invested in less, so if there is an SBC that needs informs, they'll probably go up more, so higher risk, higher reward for the 86s. 87s take a big jump to 20,000 coins, but 88, you've got Kevin Trapp here for 88 rated. He's 23K, and if you take a look at his 87 rated card, it's the exact same price. So 88 rated Kevin Trapp is not a bad deal at 23,000 coins. And again, 83 rated cards in general are not very much more expensive. So if we were to get rid of that filter and just look at, let's see, get rid of the gold inform filter and just look at 88 rated cards, they're only 20K. They're 3K less than what the inform Trap is right now. So the risk on Trap is pretty low. And in fact, if you take a look at 88 rated cards themselves, you can see those cards are normally 23K or higher, even 24.5K just a couple of days ago. They've peaked at 28K. I wouldn't use that as a good example, but yeah, 28K for SBC fodder later in October. So no risk either. I really do like these as investments. Bernardo Silva did start to rise, so I got mine. Not for 510, not for 504. I overpaid for sure, but he did start to rise, so I figured I'd get in before it's a little too late. 522K is what I got him for with a Hunter on it, which I guess adds like 1,000 coins of value to that kind of card. But he's already starting to rise. Literally in just a couple of minutes, he's already gone up even higher. So I'm really happy with making the investment. Of course, I could have gotten a better deal, but it eliminates the risk after you wait for it to start to rise a little bit. As you can see, it's already over, wow, 550 now. So it's up to about 560K, which is already in profit range. And I bought that card about 60 seconds ago. But there really isn't a lot of supply for a 90 rated Path to Glory card. So the sky is the limit. If there is demand for this card, it could go all the way to 600 if we're lucky. And then I'll go ahead and dump that for a quick profit. Araujo's just chilling at the same price we got it for earlier. Well, not the same price we got it for, but the same price he has been at about 280K. I think he might even be dropping a little bit right now. There's a 277. 284 is what he's at right now. So still solid profit. I'm kind of looking for 295. That's kind of been my goal since I bought him, and he hasn't quite reached it yet, but I'm hoping as we get later into the night, he'll go up a little bit higher. Guys, if you've made it to the end of today's video, I want to thank you guys for all of the support and all of the love that you guys have been showing the channel. Everybody who has subscribed or liked a video, you guys are really making doing this full time a true possibility for me in the future, which is absolutely amazing. So thank you to everybody who's been watching my videos, especially those that are making it to the end. And if you did make it to the end of today's video, go ahead and comment Araujo in the comment section down below, because that's the card we made the most amount of coins on today, Ronald Araujo. Go ahead and comment that or include it in your comment down below, and I'll make sure to drop a heart on everybody who does down below. Thank you guys again. Make sure to drop a like on the video. We're shooting for 400 likes. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'll see you guys maybe with a double upload today, but if not, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Peace out.